What a day. What a day it has been today. We received wonderful news, and it's been affecting the way that we have moved forward during this evening. Before we get into it, welcome back to my channel, All About Rava, where it's all about me. We're close to midnight, and we really want to make a habit of recording a little earlier during the day. We'll see if that works. The next couple of days are going to be a little tough for me recording these because it's Pride weekend, and I am going to party. I'm going to party, girl. I'm going to party so hard this weekend. I have plans and I just want to release a lot of energy. I haven't been going out like I usually do. I haven't been dancing as frequently or as regularly as I like to, just because there has been a lot of work to be done. Not only for my day job, but also in this process of self-actualization, of learning music. And so it's requiring a lot of time commitment, a lot of effort. And if you are on a spiritual journey yourself, you know that energy flows where attention goes. So because my focus has gone almost solely to developing myself as an artist, specifically a musician, it hasn't really left room for much else. I feel like a lot of my Kundalini energy has been directed towards that too. And that means that there's not a lot of sexy time, because as horny as I am and as much as I love sexy time, that energy is creative energy. And it's important that you utilize it in a way that allows you to create the reality that you want to. In my case right now is developing myself further in ways that I feel satisfied with. You know, I've been putting a lot of hard work in learning my songs, now learning music theory, so that I can read sheet music, which can be very difficult, but it is private tutoring, so it feels like a very safe environment. I have, through my partner, found a very brilliant teacher. I've only taken 2 classes, but so far I can tell that this is someone that takes their time and understands where you are as a student and adjusts accordingly. Okay, I'm very happy about that. Growing up, I had very impatient teachers. My own parents have not been the best teachers as well, so there's a lot of healing when it comes to being a student for me and being a beginner. And as I'm thinking about it now and as I'm reflecting on that dynamic, there has been so much trauma that I've experienced, you know, when I was doing my homework or preparing for a test and I didn't quite understand something. I had a very impatient parent who would scream at me if I didn't get it. And in hindsight, it might have been because they themselves didn't get it and didn't have the energy to. My parents are immigrants and they came to this country to build themselves up and oftentimes found themselves in survival. So I can only imagine what it was like to raise children while you're also trying to survive and create this world for your children where they don't need anything, but they also have your support. So compassion, lots of compassion there for my parents, but it did leave me with some battle scars on my end that I have been healing proactively. I have found beautiful teachers that are able to gently guide me to the information that I need or be patient with me. So I am very happy to do that. I hope that you, dear listener, on the other side of this, are able to sit with yourself in silence without scrolling through your phone, without distracting yourself. Find the teachers that suit you best. If you are interested in educating yourself in a field, whether it's the sciences, if you want to become a mathematician, if you want to learn a sport, find a teacher that best suits you and is able to take into account some of your past history, especially if you're someone in the arts. You know, the common rhetoric around other artists, other singers, other performers is that they've had teachers that have drilled into them this or have told them that they are to that. And it's an incredible responsibility to be a teacher. The weight is heavier if you're someone who's teaching a student the arts, whether it be singing or dancing or painting, whatever it is. Art is such a vulnerable practice. And to have someone berate you or traumatize you by screaming or being impatient with you as a teacher, I have been a victim, not me victimizing myself. I have been a victim to that myself, so I understand how deeply that can cut you in a vulnerable space when you're trying to express yourself. Find the teachers that suit you. If you are looking to become something different, if you want to actualize and master a skill, the teacher that will be patient, the teacher that understands where they can take you, what your limitations are, and that you need to regulate your nervous system while you're learning is important. It's so critical. It's so critical. My God, I've had terrible teachers. I had this kindergarten teacher. I'm not gonna say her name because I want to maintain people's privacy, but she was kind of an asshole. And honestly, I remember her screaming at me. I remember all of the bad things about her. She was a very cranky elderly woman, Latina. I was given bilingual support because I didn't really learn English until later in my school career. And I remember her being so impatient with me, and she would set me aside and have me read in English, which was so difficult at 5 years old. And every time I got something wrong, it was a scream or a yell or a "you got that wrong" in Spanish. I honestly don't know what the school landscape looks like now, but I can't imagine that it's any worse. I'm sure the students are not the best, but I can only imagine what it's like now to be a teacher and have the obstacle of technology in your way. But back then the teachers were rough, bro. I had another teacher who was allowed to spank one of the kids in my class here in New York. Can you believe that? And it didn't seem weird, and it didn't seem like something that was out of the norm. It was just something that I guess we all accepted because we had a kooky teacher. She was one of my favorites. She never touched me. But yeah, I have been cultivating a sense of self-confidence in music because I have found teachers that are able to be gentle with me, that are not screaming at me, that are not giving me tough love. Man, it took me so long. It took me decades to get to this point, but I was building my sense of self. I was building financial stability to a certain extent. We can always do better there. And we find ourselves finally comfortable enough to learn, comfortable enough to fail. And through our failures, and through repeated effort and discipline and commitment, we are then able to find success in our learning because of those failures, and our failures weren't chastised. So my message to you today, I know it's been a bit rambly and probably all over the place because I am extraordinarily spent for the day. I'm ready to rest. Is to do something different when it comes to your education, your continued education as an adult, most importantly. Don't settle for the teacher that thinks that tough love is the way to go. If you have received tough love all of your life, I recommend that you find a teacher with a gentle hand and a teacher that will challenge you, but that is able to shepherd you into learning and make space for you to accept your failures for what they are, rather than your failures defining you. If you're a grown-ass adult like I am, and you've had these experiences where you haven't felt like failing was something that was acceptable, and you want to pursue something because it's a passion or because you're called to do it, I recommend that you try to find a teacher that fits your needs. It's changing my life every single class. Every time I practice, I can hear them in my head. I can hear their gentle push or their suggestions or recommendations in my head, and it doesn't feel like every time that I don't do something right or that I feel like I'm failing that I'm beating myself up. It is doing an incredible job at healing that internal voice that will not shut up and criticizes me all the time. It's lowering its volume the more I settle in the fact that it's okay to misstep, it's okay to fall down, it's okay to not get it the first, second, third, 5th, 6th, 10th, 100th time, and that what matters is that you keep going and that you try to refine just a little bit every single time. So thank you for joining me on today's reflection. I had a wonderful day today. It's been productive. I do feel in need of rest, and in preparation for this weekend I want to get as much rest as possible because I know I'm gonna be dancing. I'm gonna be tearing that rug up, bitch. So do me a favor, give this video a like, comment down below, and share it with your friends. Please get it up here. I'm not trying to do this for free. It's an exchange, homie. It's an exchange. Give me a little love. Give me a little something, okay? All of my social media links are included in the description below. I have also included my podcast in the description. It'll also show up here. Please go follow that. I have some episodes up, and I have a new season coming out in September that I hope you will love. We're going to talk all things spirituality. We're going to reflect. I'm going to share some of my poetry, and we're going to have some guests on there. So I will see you there and on my other platforms. Until then, I will speak to you tomorrow. Ciao.